Hey, what's up my good people? Welcome guys to Tech Explorers, and in today's video we'll be taking a look on how you can be able to check your IP address. Actually, it's very easy. You just need to follow these steps and all these we are doing it in Windows 11. How do you go about it? Let's get started. First of all, before we begin the process, what is an IP address? IP address is a unique identifier in a network. Let's say, for example, you have your mobile phone and you are connected to a Wi-Fi and you are browsing. There is a certain unique identifier that is given to your device by the network devices, so that it can uniquely identify your device in a certain network. So how can you be able to confirm your IP address? And when we talk of IP addresses, there are two types of IP addresses. We have public IP addresses and private IP addresses. Private IP addresses, just like the name, it's private and cannot be, for example, somebody else from another network cannot be able to see your private IP address. But when you talk of public IP address, you can be able to get a public IP address that is using the web. So how can you be able to see? For example, we will start by showing you how you can be able to view that is your private IP address, and how can you be able to do that. So we have this Wi-Fi icon here. You just need to right click and go to network and internet settings. Then under internet and network settings, we need to scroll down and go to advanced network settings. And when you talk of all these IP addresses, so you need to click now, go to more network and adapter options, so that you can be able to access that is our Wi-Fi adapter. Either you are using Ethernet cable or you are using the Wi-Fi, you can use the same method to determine your IP address. So in case you are using that is the Ethernet, you just need to click this Ethernet adapter and right click, then you click status. Currently it is disabled because I'm not connected using the Ethernet. And when you click status, let me demonstrate now using the Wi-Fi. After you click status, how should you proceed next? So you just need to click the Wi-Fi adapter and right click and go to status. And when you go to status, just click details, so that you can be able to see a detailed report of that is of your network, that is network connection details. So as you can see here, we have what you call IPv4 address. Now this is what you call, this is my IP address, which is 192.168.8.114. now that is my IP address. You can also be able to see my subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.255. we also have what you call the IPv4 default gateway, which is 192.168.8.1, and also we have the DNS server, which is 192.168.8.1. So this is what you call the IP address. This one that you can see here, that is what you call my private IP address. And actually you can be able to change that is your IP address. Either you are using the Ethernet or the Wi-Fi, you can be able to change your IP address, because there are certain websites that are IP sensitive. For example, you have visited that website with a different IP address and you want, for example, to create a new account, and they can't allow you to create another account using, for example, the current IP address which has already been registered on that website. So you can go to change the IP address. So how can you be able to see that is your IP address, that is your public IP address? What we have just viewed is the private IP address. So how can you be able to see that your private you can be able to view your public IP address? We just need to open your browser, and on your browser you need to type ho.net. Just type ho.net and search. Something else that you can do as I search, I think my internet is it's a bit slow, but it will still load. You can type on your browser my IP address, and all these will give you the same results. So just a minute, and we'll get our IP address disprint on there by this web. So using the two method, you can either use who.net, or you can just search my IP address that is on the web. And when you search my IP address on the web, you'll be able to see that is your IP address. And you can see here what's my IP address. You can see my IP address is 102.166.88.146. now this is what you call public IP address. You can see it is also labeled as your public IP address. So this is now my public IP address, and this IP address is tied to my country. It also depends with your location. So for example, if we visit we use this website that is who.net, we will also be able to see our location. You'll see like my location is in Kenya, so it's taking a bit long to load, but actually this is a public IP address. The other one that we just viewed, this one that we just viewed here, just need to right click and go to status. Now this is what you call private IP address. You can see they are different. This one is starting with 192, the other one is starting with 102. Those IP addresses are different because one is public, the other one is private. So how can you be able to change your IP address? Actually, it is very simple. Either you are using the Ethernet or you are using the Wi-Fi, you can go to change your IP address. So all you need to do is just right click. Let's say for us, I'm not going to demonstrate using the Ethernet because I am currently not connected to the Ethernet. So I'm just going to use the Wi-Fi, and just the same way I'm demonstrating using the Wi-Fi is the same thing that you can do using the Wi-Fi. So you just need to click that is properties. First of all, before you proceed, you need to go to status and check your Wi-Fi details. You can see, for example, my IP address is ending with 114. We also have this default gateway. We also have that is the subnet mask. We have the default gateway and IPv4 DNS servers, and now we have this what you call the DNS server, the default DNS server. So just need to cross here. You need to mark those details. Then so what you need to do now, just right click and go to properties. And when you go to properties, you can see we have this something like this prompting on your screen. So just click internet protocol version, what you call the TCP version 4. Then go to properties, and if let's say for example you are connected to the Wi-Fi, if you are connected to the Wi-Fi, if you are connected to the Wi-Fi automatically, you should find let me first of all switch. So I'm assuming now you are starting afresh and you are not using manual IP address, so you just need to click here, that is internet protocol version TCP, and go to properties. Then you can see obtain an IP address automatically. That is how my PC is currently configured. So just click there. You just need to change here, use the following IP address because now you want to switch our IP address, and our IP address is 192.168.8. so it was currently we had 114, so we can change something to like 116 like that. Then we have what you call the subnet mask. With one, just click there, depending with the IP address that you just keyed here, the subnet mask will just be automatic. Then you have what you call the default gateway. We'll just use the same default gateway that we had on the other side, which was 192.168.8.1. There are certain details on the other side that I actually told you you should mark those details. Then you have what you call the DNS server. So all these details from the subnet mask, the default gateway, the DNS, and also the alternative DNS, you should use the same details that we saw on the other side where I was demonstrating. The only thing that you should change, you can see like on the other side it was 114, so we have just changed to something 116. So we just enter the same details we had on the other side. Then here we just .8.1. Then we also have an alternative DNS, which is always 8.8.8.8. Then you click validate settings upon exit, then click OK. And after you do that, your internet will first of all disconnect, and you can see my internet has been disconnected and it's back online. In case you get something like this that is popping out from your screen, just click cancel, and then from there just right click here and we go to status, and let's see now our new IP address. You can see now our IP address is ending with 116. So these are the details that are from IP address, the subnet mask. We have the default gateway, the DNS server, and also the alternative DNS. These are the details that I was talking about. You need to keep them constant. So before you change your IP address, you can write these details down, so that when you go on the other side, when you are changing the IP address, you just enter the same details. When it comes to IP address, you just need to adjust this last bit. For example, mine before it was 114, we has just changed it to 116. So let's say, for example, when you are creating these IP addresses, just create an value just next or close to the original IP address that you had, because you might be in a network that is restricted to a certain number of hosts. So you need to be very careful. Like in this case, I just use 116. So in case, for example, you enter 116, you are disconnected from the that is your net disappears, then it fails to come back. It means that somebody else who is using that IP address. So what you need to do, you can just use another IP address. For example, we have now 116. You can just switch to something like 120, 121. Just make sure that you don't deviate a lot from the original value, which was 114. So that is how simple you can do to change our IP address. So if you go on the other side, you can see, if you go to the other side, the website that I had just demonstrated, you can see my public IP address. It will actually give you the flag. This means that I'm in Kenya. We also have my IP address, which is 102.166.88.146. so that is my IP address. So it will actually give you more details. You can also see this website. We also have the same IP address that we hand on there. We have here, which is 102.166. Then we have 88.146. So 88.146. So you can actually use these two methods to determine your public IP address. But when it comes to private IP address, there is no other alternative. That is the only way you can get your public IP private IP address. And the more, if you want to change your public IP address, you just need to change your you just need to change your private IP address. And once you just change your private IP address, also your public IP address will just automatically change. Like now in this case, we just change our private IP address, and in case we happen to refresh on this website, we will be assigned a new public IP address. And that is how simple you can actually be able to determine your IP address, both the public and private, and also how you can be able to change your IP address. That's all we have for today, guys. Kindly don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the bell icon, so that anytime we drop any amazing video, you can always receive a notification. Goodbye.